Apologies. StreamYard didn't want to behave after I logged into Mellows Vigilante.media. Never mind. Oh, good. Hopefully I've seen me to the right place. I didn't check, to be honest.
You're right up here.
Hopefully I've seen me to the right place. I didn't check. Yeah, it seems to be working. How are you, Mellows? You know, still not there. Okay, probably took the dog out. So, what have we got planned for you? Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
I'm there, but you're here.
Yeah, absolutely. I am now. Bloody StreamYard didn't like swapping from one stream to another.
No, I just tried to connect around there, but it gave me a little echo.
Are you getting a message saying, sorry, error? Because I was getting something worse than that. It's just said, shut off. Hello, John. UKT, Rummy, Food Toy. I got kicked. Yeah. I don't even know whether that is the right link. Possibly.
I just like to report some news, basically.
Okay.
I did drop a couple of subscribers. I noticed. You know, when you got such a small channel, you realize, you know, the odd that when one drops, you know, right? So I really do hope that those trolls that unsubscribed find a better home and find the content that they deserve. You know, if they should ever come to my channel again, please remember to leave a like or an unlike, subscribe,
dislike.
Yeah, dislike. You can dislike it. You can.
Yeah, it all helps. Who's rattling?
Down finger fuck of it. Sorry, it's my friend making me a cup of tea.
Is that you, Ariel? Were you rattling?
Oh, stop making all that noise.
That was Mellows.
My friend is making me a tea. He was just stirring the fucking cup. Hey, you're right. You're right. Can he breathe? Is he all right? Is he allowed to?
It just seemed to be a labour of love. That was all.
He's like, yeah, he's got to make me fucking cup of tea, and he's complaining about the noise I'm making. For fuck's sakes.
It's all good.
Yep, trouble's coming.
Oh, I can't see.
Who's that? Miss Rummy. I said trouble's coming.
Is the barbecue starting?
Okay, I regretfully have to say that I forgot about all the rain that we got last night and this morning, and all of my firewood is drenched.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
So, we're stove cooking.
New plan.
No charcoal? No charcoal?
No charcoal. No, sir. Oh. No charcoal. You know, we are in the process of moving, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, utensils, and I mixed the hamburger up in a fucking pot because that's all I had. Because everything else is freaking packed, and I'm not digging through boxes to get a bowl.
I don't have that over here, so you're all right. You know,
So what are we going with? Hot pan?
Slow, sad music, you know. Oh, God. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the funniest thing you're ever going to see.
Top of the morning to you.
Hey!
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you.
The only thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I've just found out that it should be the other way round.
That's true.
And if you weren't party to that, I'm sorry, I'm not explaining it.
There's a pot of gold for you, Grim. There's a pot of gold for Mellows. There's a pot of gold for Ariel.
I'm so glad that you're putting the prize money up.
Everyone in the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first. Luto is putting the prize money up today.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I knew to be somebody.
Yeah. 1,000, Grim. I pledge 1,000.
1,000 pieces of invisible gold.
Yen.
Yen.
Okay.
No, invisible yen.
What
Oh.
was that? What was that African currency where you get like $1 billion, a billion,
Yeah.
a
Okay.
billionaire with like 50 pence? Or something.
Yeah.
What I need to know is how many people actually want to play this game. Right?
Depends on the type of game and what's the prize.
We're
Can
doing
we keep our
content.
clothes on?
Well, we know what the prize is, and the game is around your rights.
You know, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. And
Can we
that's what
keep
we're
our
doing.
clothes on this time, Grim? Please.
Sorry?
Can we keep our clothes on this time? I know it's one of
You
your
want to
rules.
keep your clothes on, everybody else will be really, really happy.
You're welcome.
Well, I just went and changed clothes because I was freaking hot. But I
Oh,
can
you
tell
got dressed up. You didn't need to.
It's got frogs on it and a
I
little
told
bow.
you she'd top over here.
So
Channel
all
hopper.
I have is a towel and this. So I can't lose too many questions.
Will you do me a favor? Do me a favor. Don't dress as if you're going to Walmart.
Okay, I won't put the gun on. Okay. Okay.
I know it's your right, but under which amendment? No, it's not started yet, folks.
I know that answer.
Yeah, I need to know. I only need to know, and I'm sort of delaying a little bit as to how when I actually start, because the more people come up, the more fun it can be,
Yes.
and the Americans can
Come on
have an extra
Come
couple of
on and
people.
play.
We need,
Come on and play.
we
I
need a
want to
full
play.
panel.
I think
I'm
it's a
gonna
great
play
idea
this
for a
week.
quiz.
I think it could be funny.
Well, I think
We
it's
need
very
somebody who actually knows both the U.S. Constitution and law in Great Britain. So
I've learned some of y'all shit.
maybe Mellows might be able to assist as final adjudicator.
Yeah,
But,
I know some of y'all stuff.
Well,
But you're all playing for the individual prize of the invisible gold.
Invisible yen. Yen. I'd like to remind everybody it's yen.
Yeah.
Not gold.
It's food toy.
Okay.
gold.
Nigerian backed beans by beans. No, it's
So
monkeys. Where was that country that they used to pay monkeys? They paid monkeys.
They pay
So if
what?
you do want to join, now is your time. The quiz will be starting shortly, because apparently straight after this, over on Mellows Eyes on the Audit, stroke vigilante, stroke whatever else you want to call it, part 2 of a serious conversation is going to start.
Very serious.
I don't know what that serious conversation will be. It might be discussing how crap this is. I don't know.
We
Or it
will
might be us discussing what I put in my hamburgers.
Well, there is that as well.
There will be a
'Cause I
serious.
showed y'all all the ingredients.
Rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, we will be seriously taking the piss.
Absolutely. Right. I do have PBA. Where are you? Why aren't you up here? I've got a special section for you.
Uh-oh.
He's got a place in the corner he wants to stick it in.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! Holy shit!
Holy shit.
Can I give a teaser question, Grim?
You can do whatever you wish in theory.
All right. So
In theory.
the,
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, you're good. Right. So
Lord.
Did it again? Sorry.
Oopsie, flip of the finger.
right.
That's what
So
he said.
the right to bear arms? Is it A, the right to have a gun? B, the right to wear short sleeve T-shirts? Think about
B.
it.
B.
C, putting your hands above your head and making bear noises.
C.
Correct.
Thank you.
1,000.
Oh, was that
yen,
UK law or
1,000 droppings.
Constitution?
Going to Grim.
No, that's just me. I won.
Oh, okay.
There's only
No.
one question in the quiz. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Ta-da! Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a great night. See you all next week.
It's the end of the rainbow sort of place, the law, you know,
So that
Grim got
might
off
be a
gold.
trick
over the
question.
rainbow, over the
I'm
rainbow.
totally confused.
Oh, well,
Good.
that doesn't surprise me.
But
Miss
you know,
Rummy wins. Ding, 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 ding. That's the correct answer.
it could be.
Okay. You're walking down the road, right? I don't care whether it's in the UK or whether it's in the US, but you're walking, not driving. There's a clue. Right. You see someone trip over and you then see a policeman next to them. Right? The first
Right.
question out of the policeman's head, mouth is what?
Your ID.
Spot on, because they need it like crack.
Yeah.
And what amendment for a bonus, right, would they be trying to enforce?
The fourth.
No, I said enforce.
Oh, enforce.
No amendment.
Exactly. Bonus to you.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're enforcing policy.
To break the
Policy.
Fourth Amendment.
Up the Irish.
Right up there. Get it, man.
Sometimes the lesson is in thinking and listening instead of predicting what is being asked.
Is one of
Okay.
us supposed to be
Yeah.
keeping count of the
My
scores?
my brain's on steroids and my belly's hungry, so it's I don't know what to call that.
Is that an amendment? Do we add it into the Constitution that you deserve the right to eat?
Well, actually, it's a human right already.
Yeah, it's a human right to be able to live.
Allegedly.
Well,
Yeah, guys, can I
Until
ask
you
a question?
fucking come around.
You can ask a question.
Was I supposed to be keeping score or something?
You were adjudicator, which also includes keeping score and being.
What's the score?
At the moment, it's 1 to Flutoy and 1 to Miss Rummy, and I won.
What the fuck are you sure you want me to keep score?
Right.
I can't even laugh fucking spliff, man.
Before we actually do start this properly, is there anybody in the chat who wants to come up and join? Because
Come
once we
play, come
start,
play
it
with
will
me.
be
Come play with me.
it'll be unfair for you to come in at a later date. I mean, if you want to play along in the chat, you can do. Dragon Glassy, great to see you. Susan, sorry about the small jokes. John,
is Bear coming up? Or what's he doing? What
I
happened?
don't know. Bear seems to have disappeared. If he comes up later and he expects to try and win it after we're 4 questions in, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, when it's only 4 questions. Hey.
Okay, how many amendments are there?
Oh, no, a lot.
Quick question.
America? 27.
How many? Sorry, the dog's barking.
27.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's one person out of the equation. Sorry, how many? Sorry,
27.
27. Any advance or decrease on 27? I'll tell
28.
you what. 28. Okay, I'll tell you
I
what.
said,
I'll tell you what. I'll give you some time to think about it. Okay, it's not quite Christmas 2025, but what's the final answers?
27.
27, 27, 22, do you say, Pluto?
No, I said 28.
28. And the answer, Mellows, because you've had time to Google it.
No, we're supposed to be doing something there. So is this the question? So we got this correctly, right? Is this how many amendments are on the Bill of Rights, or how many amendments?
No,
No,
Constitution.
the amendments are in the Constitution, the US Constitution. Come on, you're chief
I have to Google it.
adjudicator.
No, you said in Constitution, right?
Yeah.
US Constitution.
Yeah.
128. We'll throw it over to the chat. The chat site UKT says 26. 27.
According
Point to Miss Rummy and Ariel.
Yeah,
Ariel.
I
Yeah.
Which
means,
means, which means currently the scores on the doors from Mellows, because he can't add up, so I'll do it for him, is 1 to Ariel, 1 to Flutoy, and 2 to Miss Rummy.
Oh, well done, Miss Rummy.
And
By the way, I'd like to withdraw my 1,000 yen. I just Googled how much yen
Sorry,
is worth.
sorry,
I'd like to withdraw it. I'm no
Sorry.
longer offering the prize money. It's €5.87.
7 articles, 27 amendments.
Why have I got something in the back? Just out of curiosity, Mellows. Mellows, you in the back? Have you put something in the back?
Yeah, I've got my screen up. It was showing you the
answers.
The answers, yes.
Well, I could do with some bloody questions.
Oh, you want questions? You want questions? I'll give you questions. On a scale of... No, it's all right.
I'm going to. Do I add this to the stage or leave you out? I'm not. Don't know because.
Well, I mean, we've answered this one, haven't we? We've done this one.
Oh right, okay. Oh, I see. So you could. Right, that's what I wanted to check. Thank you very much.
I was screen sharing the answers from Google so everyone can see.
Brandon, good to see you. Apparently, UKT says pardon. Pardon to what? I don't know. Salute, native. Okay,
Yeah,
folks.
people could get a pardon.
We now know that there are 27 amendments to the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But how many acts and statutes? Sorry, if you look at the Magna Carta, right? How many acts and statutes remain to be changed if they are to become law? Or I'll rephrase this: name the number of articles in the Magna Carta which are not now part of acts and statutes. There is a specific number.
18.
Wrong.
I don't know.
Miss Rummy says 5, I think. Are you saying 5? Or are you eating something really hot? Hand is up like, oh,
no, she's saying 5. She's saying 5. Wrong. Ariel?
I have no idea.
Okay. The chat, is there anybody in the chat who's going to get it right? Okay, so I've just been corrected. There was a 28th amendment proposition, but it didn't go through, apparently.
But there's a small group of us in Ireland who feel that it should have went through, and we're sticking to 28.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so the answer, Mellows, without looking, you can see whether you can get on the board here.
On the board? I'm on another planet right now, bro.
The answer is 4.
Okay.
You really don't know how close you were until I told you.
It was very close. Yeah.
Very close. Good guess. Good guess. No points for that one.
You're fucking
I was
bored.
going to say 3, but now I said no. Somewhere in my brain, I remembered that from something, and I just missed it by 1. Sorry.
It's okay.
My burger's so good. Sorry.
So, no change in the scoring. Still the same as it was before, whatever that was. So we know that the Fifth Amendment is the right to remain silent. But what does it actually say, word for word?
Oh God, nobody's gonna get that.
Are you trying to boil our brains today?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a chance. Okay.
I'm gonna take
Giving
a
you a
wild
chance.
shot at it. I'm gonna take a wild shot, Grim. Okay, I'll just try my best. Like it's impossible, but I'll try my best. Is it no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a what?
You reading it straight from fucking Google, because I am too.
I didn't look at anything. I'm
One
fucked.
point for Rummy
He
because
gave
she's
us a chance.
and
Is it what the police
Yeah.
read to us on that card?
No.
Or
Grim,
otherwise
Miranda
infamous
rights.
crime.
He
you got to
wants
give
an
an extra
actual
point for
Fifth
Rummy,
Amendment.
Grim.
It's the Fifth Amendment.
Word for
Robbie gets a
word.
bonus point just for pointing something out. Although she forgets the camera is on and I'm watching her eyes move from side to side.
Yeah.
She means.
I plead the Fifth, of course.
Me too.
Yeah. I think
Well,
it's
But it does say that you have a due process too in there.
yeah, basically, you don't have to give anything, or you don't have to speak if it may incriminate you. Yes.
Right.
Go on, Grim. Ask me the next question, man. I'll answer this one, man. I'll give you an answer.
Okay, what does it, when you're arrested by a police officer in the UK, what is it they have to read to you?
Oh my
I'll
God.
answer it's a police question. I don't answer questions.
First of all, they have to tell you what section
Yeah,
they're arresting you under.
No, it's all part and parcel.
I've heard it so many. I've heard it so many times. I've memorized it.
It's a long time since you've memorized it. It's a long time since
What's
she's.
it called? I can't remember what it's called.
It's a police caution. Over here it is. Over there in the
Yeah.
Miranda rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're given a caution.
I
It's
think
called
it has a name,
Miranda
though.
rights in America.
Miranda rights. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Miranda.
may not have to give any evidence.
You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to attorney. You have
No, not attorney.
over here.
Solicitor.
It's over here.
Over here, you have the right to remain
And
silent.
it is different
right to
to
legal
what is said
counsel.
over in
You have the
America.
right to fair
A
trial.
barrister.
Anything you can.
The
Anything
right
you
to remain
say
silent.
will be used
You,
as
you,
against
you
you in
can.
court.
Yeah.
Do you
Basically, you have
understand
the
these
right.
rights? I've read them to you.
Oh God, I'm going to have to put him backstage if he carries on. You have the right to remain silent. I wish you'd take that right up. Anything you can say can be used against you in a court of law.
And I'll answer questions.
There you go. And here we have a broke fishing.
Hey, bro.
Hey, big fish.
Hey,
Hey,
Graham.
Isn't the messed up thing? Isn't the sorry, bro? How's it going, man? But isn't the messed up thing about the Miranda rights that if you fail to say something that you would later rely on in court, you can't use it or something? So
No.
you'd say,
No.
well, I'm
No,
innocent.
that is in
You're-
that was in the Great British one.
Anything you say will never be for you in a case because
it
it's
can't be used against you, but anything you don't say that you need to rely on in court may not be admitted.
Yeah, isn't that bullshit? So you have to sit there going, "It wasn't me. I didn't do it."
All you can say is no
Well,
comment.
over here in the States, still
Oh,
actually.
whoa. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. we're having a quiz. So if you start giving things away, when I come to ask these questions later, they'll know the answers.
Damn. Okay.
Which means it's going to be very difficult for you.
Yeah, I'm eating. That's why I'm keeping my mouth shut.
How you doing, Miss Rummy? Haven't seen you in a while. But I haven't been stopping at the podcast either.
I'm eating at the moment, but I'm moving. Yeah.
You look like
Were
you
you-
could do with a good meal, Broken Fish. Your skin and bone.
I know.
Okay, so here's a trivia question.
Okay.
In
Who
the
got
Harry
points
Potter
for
films,
that? Wait a minute.
nobody. 'cause
Nobody?
nobody
Okay.
had to get it
Okay.
right.
Just
In the
clarifying.
Harry Potter films, what was the saying when Harry Potter was given the piece of paper that allowed him to travel around the place invisibly?
Nothing, because it's not true. He was given a cloak
No.
ability. Oh, you mean the map? You're talking about the map.
Yeah.
The
piece of-
Marauders map. It was something about
What was it? What was it that
I'm
he was told?
absolutely up to mischief.
Something about mischief. Yeah, something about mischief. I'm up to no good, or yeah, these direct quotes. Like I even had the I had the fifth Googled and I couldn't even read it.
So
I know. I can tell.
Yeah,
So-
but there's a trick to that Fifth Amendment. It can work for you and against you at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Absolutely.
So how
Okay,
can you say I wish to remain silent? Because then you can't then bring anything, no defense to court, because you've stayed silent, so you haven't brought up something that you wish to rely on in court later.
But the catch is once you say, I want to invoke my Fifth Amendment and you start running your mouth, you haven't invoked your Fifth Amendment. You're supposed to shut up and say nothing till you see your attorney.
You turn around, you say, I am not saying anything at all. I'm invoking my fist.
And then don't say anything because they'll take it as you didn't invoke your fist because you kept running your mouth.
Mhm.
Yeah. They have tricks. for that.
Okay, we
Well,
have a
what's the-
question from the chat,
Grim,
ladies and
Hold on.
gentlemen.
Grim, what do you
Hang
say?
on, whoa. Don't you tell the house about Hold on,
What do
you'll
you
go
say in
backstage.
England? What do you say in England, mate? That's
What did
American.
you say?
What can you say? You can't say I plead the fifth in England.
No, you just sit around and say, I'm not, no comment. That's
I
it.
wish to remain silent.
I wish to remain silent. I wish to
I
invoke.
wish to speak to my solicitor.
Yeah, simple. Anyway,
Thank
what's the first 5 words of the First Amendment? Brandon's choice of question.
you. The first.
No government shall. No government shall.
That's 3.
Uh,
I think you may need some thinking time.
oh my God! Yes, I need thinking time.
Okay, not a problem.
That policeman had an Italian flag on his shirt.
Yeah, well, she's still got the pig.
All right, I think I got this one nailed. It says Constitution of the United States.
That's the Constitution. I thought he said amendments.
The first, what is the first 5 words of the First Amendment? It's even written down on the screen.
Congress shall make no law. Congress shall make no law. I got 4.
Oh,
Well, the Americans should have got this ages ago.
I'm staying
Shall
out of
make no
this.
law.
You said it's written on the screen.
Yeah, the question.
Oh,
Congress shall make no law.
Who invited you out here?
God damn it.
The first 5 words of the First
Respecting an
Amendment.
establishment.
I think it's
Freedom
great.
of religion, press.
No,
That's the first 5 words.
No
it's
government
not.
shall.
No.
No government
good,
or no
okay.
Congress shall make no law to
No government. Is it no government and
No
no
law.
Congress shall make no law?
yes.
Respecting an establishment of religion.
Yes. That's
So
what I
there'll
said.
be no government, no Congress, and no Congress shall.
Prohibiting the free
No
exercise
Congress shall make no law.
or abridging the
Mhm.
freedom of speech
Right.
or of the press or of the right of the
Yeah.
people peaceably
Now,
assemble.
here's a thing, right?
Petition
Now,
the government for redress
Quote,
of
please
confusion.
look at the question on screen. It
Okay.
definitely says 5 words, doesn't it? I'm not
It does.
seeing
Yeah.
things.
It
So
does.
the answer, right, which
Mhm.
has been
Congress shall make
given,
no law.
okay, is
Congress shall make no law.
how many
Woo!
how many words are there?
5.
5.
Yeah.
Congress shall make no law.
No law.
Okay.
But they make laws every day.
Yep.
Right.
Damn.
You have to invoke your 5th and 6th Amendment. Oh, now we don't normally talk about the 6th. It's a bit
You have
dodgy.
to invoke all your amendments if you want to use them.
What is the 6th? Let me Google it.
What is
Getting
the
it fixed
sixth?
to the battle lawyer.
Okay, you can turn your camera up. I know it's you. So does everybody else, like, you know, but
Good evening, all.
good evening.
You good?
Yeah, all good. I just put in the chat there.
You can see.
Yeah.
Who on the panel can say?
Jeebie jabba
Who on the
dabba.
panel? Who
Do you
on the
want to
panel
start
can
again?
say?
Yeah, you on the panel, man.
Who on the panel can say how the Miranda rights came into law?
Are you
There's
asking the
obviously-
questions or Grim asking the questions?
It was something to do with Miranda, right?
So
Well,
some
yeah,
bird named
hang on,
Miranda.
hang on.
obviously.
Hang on a second. You know, most people have got somebody to help them out, etc. The person who I thought might actually have helped me out hasn't showed. But there
Yay.
you go. There's a question.
Yay.
Well,
While
I'm
Miranda
hearing
rights
what-
are
maybe
a- Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm here, man.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Miranda raped a young girl, and that's how it come about. He's had
Miranda's rights,
a civil rights lawyer for
just like the Terry Frisk,
yeah.
and there's a few more as well. But
We've got a very famous law over here in regards to partners being able to check on other partners' criminal record if it is around things like battery.
I think that's
Abuse.
brilliant. I think that's
What
a
law-
brilliant law. That's
What
brilliant.
law is it known as?
I don't know. I don't even know if we have it in Ireland, but they should. It's brilliant.
Sarah's law in it.
Sarah's law, yes.
I thought you were asking us about the 6th, though. We totally jumped over that.
no,
No,
he's between UK and US, and bouncing forward and see what's what.
So
Can I
go on.
have
then.
can I have a guess? Can I have
Yeah,
a rough
go on.
guess at the 6th?
Yes.
Let me think. Let me think about it. Could it be possibly
No, what does Google say?
criminal prosecutions? The accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy trial, a speedy and public trial.
And the right to confront your accuser.
Yes.
Wow.
And
So,
all
the-
TV rights will be sold.
But when do you not have the right to confront your accuser? The accuser is always going to be the
Well, your
prosecution.
accuser is the government.
Is the prosecution? Yeah.
Or the states.
But the accuser actually comes down to the person that originally.
If they
Oh,
made,
and-
if they have made the charge, yes. But where the state makes the charge, no.
So no victim crime, victimless crimes. It's going to be the state then. Obviously, you're up against.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
It's not
well,
common law,
even
is it?
even if there is a victim, the victim doesn't have to press charges. The state
That's
can.
right.
There's no such
That's
thing as victimless crimes under common law, right?
Yeah, that's right. No victim, no crime, right?
We're not
Victimless
talking.
crimes,
We're not
statute
talking.
act.
We're not talking about common law.
Yeah, they're, what I'm saying is it's all victimless crimes. They're all statutes and acts.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we're talking about uncommon law.
given consent by the governed.
But the thing is, where over in America, right? If somebody doesn't press charges, criminal charges, there may be enough evidence for the prosecution service to, or the DA as it's called, Duck's Arse,
Right.
to press charges.
Right.
So there may not be a victim on show.
There might be enough evidence that they actually go with the officer as the one that presses the charge on you, and the prosecutor just takes up the officer's case because he agrees with them.
Yeah.
I blame Anonique. Always his fault. Always that guy's fault. How's it going, Anonique?
When he drops in occasionally. If you get accused of racism, you will not be told who accused you.
Your audio keeps.
My audio.
Yeah, it dipped for a minute.
Oh, well, never mind. So
Repeat the question, please.
Hey, Norwood.
I wasn't coming up with a question. Hello, Northwoods. We fucking woo. I was reading out a comment.
It's gone again.
Sorry, what?
Goes in and out, in and out.
Yeah, it
One
keeps
minute
turning
it's
down.
too
Let me
loud.
see if I can do something with it.
One
Now
minute you're
it's
too
perfect.
loud, then
Now
it
it's
seems
perfect.
like you're talking to us from across the room.
Yeah, but a minute ago it was too loud.
Yeah, but it doesn't stay like that. That's what I'm saying. You just-
Just repeat what you were saying earlier.
Hey, Northwoods.
Woo effing woo.
Woo, fucking woo. Oh damn! What happened?
Ariel's got feedback.
It's
it's
only better.
Yeah, much
Okay, so I got it wrong, the wrong way round. Sarah's laws covers both Claire's law and also Sarah's law. Both relate to the same thing. I think it's Sarah's law gives you the right to access it or to see it, not necessarily take pictures of it.
It was,
things.
and was that a federal law, or was that enacted in a state and not gone federal yet, or it gone federal under the other?
This is
one?
UK law I'm referring
Oh,
to.
okay.
It's a
We're
great
a
law,
little-
fish.
We're a little bit further ahead in some ways.
So if you're with somebody and you want to find out their criminal record, well, you see, in America's different. You can just find it out anyway, can't you? It's public information. Anybody's record.
$20, you find out everything they ever done, and
But
what,
in England and Ireland,
what their
it's
fart
different.
smelled like.
Yeah, it's different in England and Ireland. You can't FOIA that because you can only FOIA things that are about you or that are public information, right? And somebody's criminal record isn't public information in England and Ireland.
Why isn't it public information?
Yeah,
Is
it
what
should
gets
be.
me. If
Yeah,
you
it
got
should be.
arrested and went through a court, which is a public forum,
Right?
everything done in that court should be public, which puts your record to the public. So I don't get that. That's
Because-
where you were behind, but you came forward with the law that
Right.
allowed
No,
you to see it.
hang on. Susan actually confirmed the situation as it is. If you are given information regarding your partner upon request, you are not allowed to share it with anyone because that in itself is a crime.
Correct. Yep.
Until the
Correct.
case is over.
No, at
Yeah.
all. At
No,
all.
No, at all.
no, the The
So
crime
if I did ask the police for information about my missus, right?
Right.
Only I could see that information, nobody else.
the crime is
And I
not.
couldn't release that information to anybody else because I signed a non-disclosure agreement
Mhm.
that I won't. And that non-disclosure agreement would be a criminal offence if I was to breach it, because it's
Wow.
about someone's past history, not current.
Well, you see, also Broken Fish. The thing is, right, in America, ex-convicts who have served their time get a lot of issues finding work and stuff, and also accommodation and stuff, don't they?
Well, yes and no.
Oh,
The
yes
crime-
and
the
no.
crime
It
isn't-
depends on the crime they were convicted of.
Also, it depends on if you're recent. Let's say you completed your parole and your probation, and it's like 6 months ago. If when time goes by, it'll become a whole lot easier for you to get a job as a convicted felon.
to speak.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want confirmation. Has Four Corner Fist in the Air been rearrested?
He has
Been
for
arrested?
filming. For
What the
filming.
fuck is going in here, man?
What the heck?
Yeah, they've got it in for that guy. They
Audio
really do.
okay? Or you just like fucking taking the piss and ignoring me? I'm trying to fucking speak here and you're talking over me. What the fuck is going on?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Mellows. Do apologise.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to say, Mellows?
The crime is not obtaining or knowing the data. The crime is disseminating the information, distributing the information. That's the crime. It's not
Yes.
knowing it or obtaining it.
No, I never said it was. I did say discussing.
You said share.
They're not allowed to pass that information on because it's in the person's past. And that's the reason why you got the non-disclaimer disclosure agreement. Breaking it would be a criminal offence. But it's a good law to have.
So it looks like the county where Fist in the Air Four Corners is at is literally using him like a bank account, because federal money comes out every time somebody sits in. They get federal money for that person for each day they're in, so they're using him like a bank account on chumped up shit, and they used a long weekend to get the more money.
The only way he's going to stop that is by getting a civil rights attorney. It's the only way to stop it.
Yeah. He's
So-
gonna have to get an injunction or something.
Okay, so this sort of leads me into the next question. At what point does filming the police constitute obstruction?
Never.
And that's on both sides of the pond.
When you hit
Never.
them in the face with the camera.
Obstruction is a physical act.
It's not the filming that turns it illegal. It's obstruction is a physical act of blocking them from doing their job.
Right,
It's not our
right.
problem that they get fixated on a camera when there's 30 others looking at them in the neighborhood.
I
Can't
agree.
criminalize your free speech or the right to free press because,
Or your freedom of expression.
yeah,
That's right. Very true.
because and criminalize it because they, and if they deem that you just merely standing there and recording them is obstruction, then they're clearly, suffering from some post-traumatic stress, and they should, seek either reevaluation, psychiatric help, or just get another job and live, and that'll probably be safer in the long run, cheaper.
And the Supreme Court of the United States has ruled that the lone act of filming, taking video or pictures of something is not a suspicion. So some of these officers don't even know their own laws or pay attention to the updates of their own law, of our laws.
It's a contradiction, right? Because they swear an oath to protect it while
Yeah,
weaponizing it against you.
that's right. That's a dirty cop.
Okay, so I
You
love
could
this one. Blackwatch says, when you interfere with normal operations. I would agree if you were in an operating theatre, but
You could
not
just
out on the
say-
street.
You could just say you're filming the tree to deter the squirrels from throwing acorns.
That part.
That's so vague, though, right? And it's down to officer.
Safety.
Well, it's discretion at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? If he's got, you give one of those arseholes, right? The arbitrary power. When somebody interferes with normal operations, and this brain dead moron, you give him that instruction, he's going, normal operations. Well, picking my nose, that's normal, right? You interfered with that because you looked at me and embarrassed and filmed me while I was picking my nose, so I'm going to arrest you.
I had to
He's
turn
kind of,
away.
what I'm trying to say is, I know it's pathetic, my example, but it's what I'm trying to say is, it's open to interpretation. When you give people instructions like that, they're so vague and they're so open to abuse,
Yes.
especially when you give them discretion and then immunity from overreacting or immunity from.
There's a case that just came up. Immunity is starting to hit the block and be
Get rid of that straight away.
blanket. There is a case that's going through where they're starting to put immunity on the block. Steve Lato was talking about it, and so was the civil rights lawyer. That they didn't get. They're starting to look at it, and it was a concept that was made up by the courts, and it's starting to hit where it's getting a good look at that they shouldn't get automatic blanket immunity. It should be per case. It should be looked at in the case to see if they should receive immunity. They shouldn't automatically receive it.
Yeah.
I can't remember the particulars of the case, but it's going to make a landfall. They expect the ruling is going on the side of not automatic immunity, and it's going to make a landfall. It was the civil rights lawyer did a thing on it for sure.
So
Black
basically
Watch,
what
he
you're
was just making an example. I get it. What he's trying to say is it's up to the police discretion, and they're silly. The everything is police is for police safety. You know what I mean?
Oh
Sit
yeah,
down on the dirty street.
they're usually the one with the taser, a thing of mace, a gun, and they're worried, and a bulletproof vest, but they're worried about a camera that doesn't do nothing but hit the ground if you let go of it.
Yeah, if they had it their way, you'd have to be a mile away from the crime scene to film it. You know what I mean?
literally Erie County just put out a video not too long ago that he had to walk a fucking mile to get
Yeah.
to the scene to actually be able to record an accident scene.
Point and case. Yeah, right there. Exactly. That's exactly what they did. They put the crime tape a mile away from the scene.
No, they put
So we had to walk a
they
mile.
put the crime tape around the scene, but they had the fire department blocking
Block
anybody
the
from
road.
going down that road,
yeah.
and he had to park his vehicle, and he had to walk a fucking mile to get to the actual scene to be able
That's
to
right.
record it. And they wouldn't let him drive down there to the crime scene tape. He had to park and walk. It was 6/10 of a mile from one side of the road, and then they kept moving the crime scene tape to push him back further and further. So then he decided to go and drive around to the other side, and he had to park because the fire department wouldn't let him go through, and he had to walk a fucking mile.
Yeah,
So literally,
didn't realize
they're
it.
stopping trying to stop the First Amendment.
I didn't realise that the fire department were allowed to act as police officers.
If
Well,
they
they
had
had
like
the-
I was a firefighter. If they had like a fire scene, all they have to do is you leave one charge hose on the ground or laying inside the door if it was inside a house, and the fire department is actually in charge, and the police have to listen to the highest ranking firefighter on scene.
That's right.
This was a car wreck, and fire and rescue was on scene with the ambulance with the
And-
cops, and the guy was passed because he wrecked and killed himself and injured his dog. The dog was okay, and the fire department was there to direct traffic to keep them from going down the road where the
They
accident scene was. There
They
was no
were
fire.
originally there and took charge of the scene because it was an accident, and they were called for the jaws of life before they realized he was dead, and they maintained control of the scene because they left one engine right there at the car, and the fire department can actually stop you wherever they feel like, so you don't go into that area while they allow the officers to investigate and turn it over to the state police or the county sheriffs for said county.
Yeah, I remember a policeman told the fire guy to move the truck, and the fire guy wouldn't, and the police arrested the fire guy. But it turned out that the fire guy had actually authority over that scene at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he was blocking the actual scene. So because police wasn't they didn't put up any kind of flares or anything to keep traffic from hitting or coming up on this accident scene where everybody was trying to take care of. So the fireman was actually saving other people's lives.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah, yep. But the policeman's ego wouldn't let it go.
Yeah.
I've been involved out here in Oregon when I was on a structure fire department with the state fire marshals and that. And there's times we just, even on accidents, there's times that we shut the road down 7 miles away where everybody was stopped at the edge of town and didn't drive out through the coastal highway while we were dealing with the fatality, and we shut it down 5 miles away in the other direction so everybody had a place to turn around, or else they were stuck in this really screwed up place. And we had control of the scene till we turned it over to the state police and left, but we maintained the road shut down at the edge of those two areas at their request. But the minute we our vehicle from the scene, it was then put in charge of the state police. And some officers don't get that if they go to a fire scene, they're not the highest authority there. They're actually a bystander at that time till the fire service is done. And all we have to do is maintain one charged hose at the scene and lay it on the ground, and we're still in charge.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, learn something new. I didn't know that. So, yeah.
A lot of people don't, including officers.
I wonder if that's the same in Great Britain. I would have presumed.
It probably is.
Yeah, I would say
I would presume so.
Yeah.
Because when I came across, as I called it, the fireman's lift, when someone was evacuated from a block of flats, there was no police on site. There was only the fire brigade and the ambulance service, and the ambulance service would just stood back until they were called in, and it was safe for them to take hold of the casualty.
Would it be the same with medical crew? Right, in a medical emergency, they'd have more authority than the police.
They actually do. If you've called for an ambulance,
Yeah.
and an officer enters your house, he's still breaking the Constitution because he has no authority there. There was no crime. It's a medical emergency, and medical is in charge and can tell that officer to leave the building if he's upsetting the patient.
Do you remember that nurse that got arrested? The police were trying to take
blood.
All that got dropped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they got sued too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rightfully so, I'd say.
Yeah, she knew the guy's rights, and she didn't want to,
Yeah.
go.
She's required. She's required to stand up and fight for his rights.
That's right. Because he was unconscious. He was unconscious, and he was unable to make any kind of statement. He was not under arrest, and he was not suspected of committing a crime.
And
So they
the
had
sad part,
no right to
yeah,
his blood.
the sad part is that not only did he arrest her, but he treated her like a criminal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
hands
yeah.
on.
Because he
She
couldn't get his little
defied him.
pissy way.
She defied
know-
his word.
Because she said no.
Yes.
Yep. And
That was
you
his
know,
exact
dared-
words.
out here,
He
even
dared
in
to
the
say no.
Okay, so to keep this in line with the theme, right? What constitutional right was she protecting the unconscious casualty?
Oh.
His Fourth
Ooh.
Amendment.
is for
Oh yeah.
Fourth Amendment, spot on.
Searches and seizures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mellows, what's the score? Check your PayPal, mate. Check your PayPal. What's the score, Mellows?
Futoy won that one.
Sorry, guys. What can I say?
Hey!
What can I say?
You know,
I did
No.
it first.
No, you
Your
did.
Cash App. Check your Cash
You
App.
did.
you guys know that they are training cops now, and they have been certified for drawing blood and all that.
In some places.
but out here in the States, even if you're arrested for a DUI, they still have to go to the court and get a warrant for your blood.
Yes, because your blood, your DNA, your saliva, whatever it is, that's yours. It belongs to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I've seen
they're
some.
going to abuse the hell out of that. Are they stupid? They know they're going to abuse it. Even their bosses know they're going to abuse it.
Yes. I
Fuck
watched
yeah.
that video and I fucking cringed.
Absolutely. Like,
As being able to draw blood, doing it on the fucking side of the road, and
Yeah.
motherfucker don't know nothing about keeping you safe and not injecting that needle into your arm and you know damaging a vein or artery in your arm
side of the road at night. Come
on
on.
the fucking side of the road.
And the citizen that allowed that was never taught their rights.
And
Exactly.
y'all remember the college kid that was in his shorts and got stopped in the rain, and they made him do all
Yes.
all
Yes.
that,
Yes.
and he was laughing at the cop, and he blew zeros, and the cops still arrested his ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he
Took him,
suspected him of smoking weed.
took him in. The guy who was a specialist in drugs couldn't understand why he was there. And
Yeah, because he could see no impairment.
yeah, and he insisted the young lad insisted that he got an apology from the copper that brought him in,
Right.
just so he could see him eat crow, basically.
I don't know.
Because-
Yeah, I don't know. If
You
you guys,
know what the problem is with some of these officers, even when people blow on the field breathalyzer, even when they blow in the field standing there on that field breathalyzer, a lot of them carry, even when they blow zeros, you know what the problem is, why they still get arrested? Because officers get paid by MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They get paid by MAD for arrests, not for convictions, but for arrests. So
Yes.
they will arrest as many people as they can for that DWI just to get that bonus from MAD. Whether the DWI sticks or not, it still goes down as an arrest. And then you got to go through, because you were arrested for it, then you got to go through and actually go through legal shit to get that false arrest removed from your record, because it still sits there and people don't realize that. Oh, well, they didn't press the charges. Yes, but the arrest still shows.
right.
Yes. You have to ask for that, for the DA to expunge that from your record.
And then it costs you money. They don't cost them
No,
shit. It
no.
costs you
Now
money.
some places have it in there that if it's going to damage your like say you're in the
Reputation.
medical field, your reputation. If say you're in the medical field or you drive a bus or something like that, that you can't have any DUIs or anything on your record.
Right, right.
In some places they have to. If they falsely arrest you and everything zeros and you're not under the influence of anything and the cop is proven to be fucking wrong and the state says, okay, you're innocent, that you have to insist that be expunged from your record because it was their fucking mistake.
Yep,
Okay.
that's the problem, is you have to ask for it.
Yeah.
You have to
It doesn't
insist on it.
happen. You have to ask for it and become like freaked out about it for them to actually remove it when they
Yeah,
should
because,
remove it automatically if you were found not to be that.
and I'll
And
tell
we
you an instance, something similar. A friend of mine, somebody used his name, and he was working at a mental facility, and all of they were going to fire him, right? So because he had an assault charge under his name. So me and him had to go and track down this man and call the police in that different county and go to this man's house, and we had to do all this ourselves. Nobody would help us. The sheriff's department in here at Nias County, they wouldn't help us at all. They showed us what the arrest record was, and the guys, and the man sitting right here, and the cop sitting right here, and the arrest photo was a completely different dude, and he could see it. But we had to take that information that we got from that arrest record and had to go to a different county, go to the fucking man's house, have the police come there.
Whoever's making that noise, please stop it. No.
Mellows.
Thank you.
So we had to go to this man's house, get the police there. The police show up, and we tell them the story, and he had to get the man to come out and confirm, is this the man that was on screen, or is this the man that's standing in front of you that assaulted you? Oh, it's that man on screen, not this man. I don't know who this man is. And so then he had to write all this up, and the guy then was charged with using somebody else's identity, and we had to take all this paperwork and have it signed by magistrate so he could keep his fucking job, because he can't have an assault and be in the medical field.
I was on a wildfire and we had one of my longtime crew members arrested 5 states away because a federal felony warrant came up. And when they took him down there, he was laughing at him. But when they took him down there, he went freely with them. When they took him down there and fingerprinted him, he goes, "Okay, stop. Who's that say I am? We're stopping right here. Who's that say I am? Because I know my fingerprints are in the system because of my job." And when they looked him up, they found out there was a guy with the exact same name, exact same middle name, 1 year younger than him that actually had the felony warrant. But they were going to railroad my buddy all the way through the federal system when it wasn't him. And it took him being
Right.
smart enough to make them check the prints against the file for him to prove it wasn't him.
Right. So he had to give up his Fourth Amendment.
Yeah,
To prove
to
that
keep
it wasn't
himself
him.
out, to keep himself from being moved 6 more states east from where we were, 4 states away from Oregon.
And
to
lose
keep
his
it-
job.
No, he didn't lose his job.
I mean,
My
he
boss,
could have.
yeah, if my boss wasn't cool, my boss could have fired him for that, but he was back within a day. And
Right.
my boss just was cool. He's the type of guy that paid over our Social Security. Oh, I have to pay this amount. I'm going to double that. But he literally just goes, "I'm going to pay you for the day of torture you got. I shouldn't, but I'm going to pay you for that day of torture because it wasn't your fault you weren't here."
Yeah. It's really fucked up system. Okay. Grim?
Yes. I'm still here.
Okay. Can we move? Can we
I was
have
listening to the conversation.
Oh, can we have another question?
Yes, certainly. What would you like? That's the question.
What would I like? An
I
island.
wasn't talking to you. Would you like one on US or UK?
A UK one if it's not really hard, because I don't know that much about UK stuff. I just learned
Okay.
it from y'all.
All right. Okay. So nice, easy one. Do
Miss
you know
Rummy,
what?
the English women always say nothing's hard in the UK. They're always complaining.
Oh my God.
Spoke
Us
like
Irish
a
guys are
true
very
limp
popular
prick.
over there, you see.
Okay.
Spoken like a true limp prick. He's a softie, isn't he?
Oh, softy.
Yeah, what was Softy? I'm a big
Maybe that's where that came from. Wow.
All right,
like it.
Devo, AJ. All right, so from a British point of view, what is a requirement to use a car, to drive a car?
a car.
Insurance.
No, a car.
What is
No,
required
God,
to
Yeah,
drive
you
a
gotta have
car?
a car first. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Flu Toy. That was you caught on to
Yeah.
that one too quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta have a car first. Yeah.
No point having a license in the church if you've got no car.
Yeah,
No, the taxes have to be paid on it, and it has to have insurance.
it has to have an MOT certificate if required, because it's within 3 years. He doesn't need one. And date of purchase. You has to have insurance, and the driver has to be licensed.
Yeah,
to
because
drive
there's two things that I see some people do. They and the license plate belongs to something else.
The
And
DVLA.
yeah, the
Yeah.
DVLA. And it has to be printed a certain way, or it's not within parameters.
Yep. Oh, you know quite more than you think. Not
Yeah, I've been
necessarily
learning.
specific, but some of the things, yeah.
I've been learning. Yeah.
Over here, Grim, I have to have a license, a registration.
Insurance.
My taxes have to be paid. If not, they won't let me re-register it. Insurance, and I have to have a state inspection once a year.
Yes.
You
And
have
they
to
did.
pay your taxes.
Back in a sec.
And with the inspection at one time, they were charging to have an emissions inspection. So not just a
Yeah.
safety inspection, and then that was a $30-some charge
Mhm.
Yep.
just to have your fucking car inspected.
Also known as the smog inspection.
Yes, we don't.
Yeah,
do,
we've
don't
had
do
that
that.
over here for years.
Emissions.
The emissions inspections became part and parcel of the MOT. It'll come to in a minute. MOT inspection, but there wasn't an extra charge. The price of an MOT certificate is still fairly reasonable. The cost of putting a car through an MOT and getting the things that are seriously wrong fixed can be very expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
on the safety inspection, you're not supposed to have any kind of check engine light
Right.
on when the car is turned on to auxiliary. Your lights have to be in working condition, and some places even have this little thing they move in front of the car, and your beams have to hit certain places on that, high beams and low beams. They check your turn signals left and right, your brakes, your brake lights, and your mirrors to make sure that they're in working condition or whatever, that you got them, and your tires.
Yes, tires. Yes.
Tread
failed
depth.
because of that.
And
now here we have state inspection, but it's not done by the state. Usually done by state certified. So I always take mine to the Toyota dealership.
Yeah.
Plus they do it for free because I bought the car there. But that's the only reason why I take it there.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
But they were putting this little machine and hooking it to your car, right? And then they were leaving the car running for a period of time
We don't
And
do emissions here.
well, they don't do it anymore now because they found that it was just a waste of damn money.
Right.
They
Because
were
you don't.
using, in some areas, they were using old codes that weren't cleared out of the computer, but was no longer a problem to mess with people too.
Yeah.
Devo, I did say welcome, but I was just being very quiet
Yeah,
about it.
Devo, we see you. We're just not, we're talking as much to chat.
Hey, Chad.
Okay.
Hey, I got a question. Is it the same over there as it is here, that it doesn't matter where in the world you got a driver's license from, you still have the right to bring your car with you and drive and don't have to put no special plates on for the country you're in?
If you can get an American vehicle shipped over here, gone through customs and then you're able to put it on the road because it meets all the minimum requirements, then yes.
So I could leave. I could leave like
a maximum of 30 days.
I could leave like my state plate
Well,
on
that's
it,
what I was
drive
gonna
around, and drive on my U.S. driver's license.
Yes, but you wouldn't be really. You'd have to come over by ship.
Oh well, all cars get or that or cargo plane if you're really rich.
Not many Americans will do that. They don't
Unless
even. They
they
don't
got
have
like
to.
Maseratis or some shit that they're going to take on a gumball run or something.
You're more likely to see that sort of thing happen when people come in from Canada.
Yes.
Than you are here. But theoretically, that you would have to fill in a load of red tape. But yes, theoretically, you'd be able to.
Right.
But you could come over here and you could drive on your American license, providing you have insurance, etc., for the vehicle and your license is in date.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I got a friend, they were trying to mess with him here in Oregon because his dad, they got money. They brought over their basically Unimog, however you say that, RV, and we had a state cop here in the state of Oregon trying to tell them they were driving an unlicensed vehicle. And when it came down to it in front of the judge, because that day they went to the courthouse with the officer, and the judge is like, no, actually, they're allowed to drive here on their German licensing and their German license, and there's nothing you can do about it. They are licensed.
Yep.
Right.
Well, when I went over, I drove on mine.
Most countries have a treaty of some sort.
That's right. You have to carry your passport with you, not just your driving license.
See, and the reason I learned this because I follow DDE, and he's from Canada, and he was in California, and he got pulled over by a stupid ass cop because the cop wanted to see the car, of course, but he was being a prick because he didn't like the rich ass car. Anyway, so he gives Damon a really hard time that he was driving illegally because he didn't have a California license, because he just had a Canadian license. And the car was too loud, and he failed to stop at some damn stop sign. And that's what and then he told him that if he didn't take that car and park it, the next time he saw it, he would have it towed. He said, "Oh, you're not having my car towed."
And he's breaking federal law and California state law, the officer is, by doing that, because California has the law in that they recognize international driver's license and international licensing and plating of vehicles.
Well,
he wrote him some tickets.
The United States and Canada have a fucking treaty.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the reason why.
And Damon was really took aback by it because the cop was so stupid. So they drove the car to the police station and talked to the sergeant and told him everything that happened and filmed the whole thing, of course. And that the cop told him that the next time he saw him, he's going to have his car towed. And so that, and he explained, this cop really believes that I have to have a California driver's license to drive my car from Canada in the United States.
For a period of
And
90 days is fine.
and I've seen this happen in Georgia. I've seen it
Everywhere.
happen in quite a few different states because people post that shit. There was this a guy from India, and he's driving around his really fancy car, with the steering wheel on the opposite side and all that. And they stopped him on the interstate. And the highway patrolman gave him a really fucking hard time and didn't know how to handle the situation because he had a foreign tag and he had a special license and he just didn't know what the fuck to do. So he ended up giving the guy the stuff back and send him on his way. And the dude was like, "What was that?"
That was a typical U.S. cop in trying to
Yep.
enforce his feelings.
Yeah.
And,
When I was over in the States, I did a lot of before I went over, I did a lot of searching just to double check. I even checked Massachusetts law, federal law, and it all said the same. Basically, I have 30 days. 30 days where I can drive without having to apply for a license.
right.
Oh, that's per state. If you're going to stay in that state, you have 30 days to get
Yeah, but this is in the US. I had 30 days. So wherever I ended up, I would have to get a license in that state. So if I was touring, I would have a maximum of 30 days before I would have to get a US license.
Oh, because as long as you're not taking up residence, how does the 30-day thing apply? That's for
Because
residency.
No, it's to do with the treaties.
Yeah.
I can stay for a maximum of 90 days without having to apply for a visa, but I could only drive for 30 without having to apply for a license.
Yeah. Or before you leave your country, if you get a
I can apply
special,
I can apply for it beforehand. But
right,
I'm going to be for
like
some
an
time.
international license.
Yes.
Because I got like 5 friends that are driving on their international license, and
That's the
they've been
difference.
doing it.
That's the difference right there. An international license is different from his regular UK license and our US license.
You
That
pay
he
a
would
lot
have
more
to apply for
international
an
license.
international license before he even got here. Right, Grim?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'd have to go through, I think it would go through Homeland Security, if I remember right. I could be wrong. But it all falls under the ETSI treatment agreements.
Yeah.
I know the one friend's got an international license because he drives big rigs, what you guys call lorries, around and through several countries, and it was the only way that he could do his job is to have that international license.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, could I ask you an unrelated question just for a sec? I remember when I was telling you about Jason Godet, he was playing with a guy who turned out to be a pedo. I was clear that it wasn't Godet that was the pedo. It was the guy he was playing with, right?
Right.
I was clear, was I?
We all know that BNFF is a convicted pedophile of a mentally disabled young gentleman who he forced himself on.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier, and I just wanted to make sure that people didn't think I meant Jason Godet because he's innocent. He didn't do anything.
Right.
No, it's that other guy.
Yeah, the other guy. Yeah. All right. Thanks. I just got worried there. Was I clear enough? Because things like that can hurt somebody's reputation. I don't want to do that shit.
Yeah, the evidence about the other guy made the rounds twice on it through the groups I'm part of.
Yeah, but this, I'll say this is something. I mean, I wasn't party to what you were talking about at the time, but it's good to clear it up because people do get misinformation or mishear, I should say, and then pass on misinformation.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Thanks for letting me do that, Grim.
Can I say that the international driving license is actually called the International Driving Permit
Same
Oh,
thing,
it-
different name.
in the United States? But that's how they word it in the United States.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you're permitted to.
right.
That's where it would come from. Yeah, it's a permit.
And did you
Um,
know that so the other Four Corners, he gave up his US license, let it expire, whatever, and he only has his Mexican license from Mexico. And
Right.
you know, he lives in Texas, but he goes back and forth. So they
Well,
give him a hard time about him just having his license from Mexico.
well, I'm reading in the website for the international license, and it says your
Uh-huh.
state's driver's license is valid driving in Canada and Mexico. So I'm guessing that Canada and Mexico is also valid in the United States.
Yes,
Should
they
be.
are.
We have a trade agreement with both countries, and we have treaties with both countries about
Exactly.
driving.
Yes, yes. There's treaties with
Right.
with the countries. Yes, but they give him a really hard time about driving on his Mexican driver's license. And one time, this stupid little female cop, I think she was in training or something, and the training officer got it totally fucking wrong, and gave him a ticket for not having his Texas driver's license. Yeah.
There's some officers out there that believe if I'm from Oregon and I'm out in, let's say, just as an example, Texas, because I know there's Texas officers that believe this, that I have to go get a Texas license and my Oregon license isn't valid for me to drive in their state.
Right. Right. That's stupid. That's stupid. That's like me taking a road trip across country in every state that I touch that I'd have to get a driver's license in, and give up my North
Yep.
Carolina license and then re-get my North Carolina license when I get back. It's fucking
Well,
stupid.
it don't make no sense because while you're trying to get that license, in the meantime you can't drive because you
Right.
probably have to wait. You got to make an appointment. That's why they allow you to drive on your license. It's just for a short time.
That's why they're actually making it, they're not telling us, but they're making it a U.S. license in each of the states by telling everybody, oh, you have to have this special license to get on planes. I'm sure, excuse me,
Oh.
they're both government ID issued by the government. Why do you have two different ones? Every
Well-
single one you put out should be that.
No, they're
Eventually,
wanting-
we'll get that license. Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
You're actually putting they're actually requiring you to prove that you live in the state that you live in, like with a birth certificate and a mailing address and a passport if you have one. That's all attached to your license.
Oh, you ought to
Right.
see them when they look at my birth certificate. They lose their mind.
Wow.
My birth
Sorry.
certificate is in German. I'm a naturalized U.S. citizen because both my parents were citizens and I was born in Germany.
Right. I bet
Okay.
they're freaking
And
about
they
that.
can't read the damn birth certificate.
Right.
Good fun. Didn't get an
Whose fault is
interpreter.
that? That's not your fault.
Yeah.
I
That
know, but they lose their mind every single time.
Yeah.
I don't understand why the Americans actually no, I do the money grabbing so and so's. Why you have to pay for your vehicle to have a registration for 12 months? The registration is for the time of the vehicle.
No,
should
it's,
be.
in the state
Yeah.
I'm in, it's every 2 years.
2 years,
Well-
yeah.
Okay, well, in Virginia, you could do 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. And I had read this one time online. I had just had mine done. It was like $200 for 3 years. So It was like 120 for
yeah.
a road tax, and then the rest of it was for the registration itself.
Yeah,
Well,
you
here's
got to
the
pay
funny
for a
thing.
road tax that you've already paid for the roads to be built and maintained.
Right.
You pay vehicle excise duty is a good way of the way that they do it. It's not called a fund license anymore, because that would mean they'd have to spend it on roads. But the vehicle excise duty you pay on a yearly basis. That's so that your car can stay on the road, but you only pay one registration fee, and that's when the car is bought.
Wow.
Right.
Oh,
That's the way it should be.
that I get what you're saying. The titling fee over here, it's called in where I live.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the license plate's issued once.
Yeah.
You don't have more than one license to a vehicle. That vehicle number stays with it because it has to match with the VIN number as well. That's how they can tell whether or not a car has had its plates changed. Sometimes, these villains will get everywhere and do everything. I mean, I've got a big villain in the over in the chat called Big G, allegedly.
Yeah.
So you get to calling me Gramps.
We go by the VIN number also, Grim.
Yeah. So the two have to match, basically.
Yeah. Yes. If it don't match, it's not gonna. Yeah.
Well, and a lot of people don't know that our what we call our interstate system is actually federal military highways.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Graham, over in Ireland, we call him Daddy.
Daddy.
Big J,
Daddy.
we call him Daddy. He's known as Daddy
Diddy.
over here.
Let's call him Diddy.
Big Daddy.
Yeah.
He's about.
Diddy. They rape us every fucking day.
He's only a few feet taller than Pluto. And
Wow.
Big G apparently Big G's only a dwarf.
Wow.
Well, the afro makes him 6 inches taller. So
That's knee height of most people. That makes it wow.
You're ankle high. You're an ankle biter, sir.
It's, by the way, guys, we don't like the term short. We like the term vertically challenged.
I'm vertically challenged. I can't even say the fucking shit.
Are you sober? I don't hunger's getting to you.
Wait a minute. We're not allowed to call you midgets. You had to call you short. Now we're not allowed to call you short. We have to call you vertically challenged. I can't keep up with all this political bullshit. I'm just going to call you little guy.
Snow White is now called Snow White and the 7 vertically challenged men.
Well, according to Z, they fired the dwarfs.
Doesn't quite sound the same as seven dwarfs and a twat called Snow White, is it?
Hold on, did you just assume the dwarf's gender? How dare you, Grim? How dare you?
What?
Assume their gender. You said vertically challenged men.
I did correct myself. I said people.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
Nowhere, anywhere on YouTube would you start off with a quiz about the Constitution and UK law that moves over to what the little people have to deal with on a daily basis.
Do they have different laws? Do they have different laws that govern them?
Yeah, Grim, the little ones.
Grim, that was very low. That was very low of you, Grim. That was very low.
Turn your voice up, your hearing aid. You might find it better. Either that or lower the speaker down to your head.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
Just get a fucking long rope.
That was under the belt.
I didn't think it was that low.
Depends on whose belt you're talking about.
If it's
in his case, about 0.5 centimeter off the floor.
Oh, you're talking about my big Uncle Jim.
Futai, you may as well change your name to just Low. Low Toy.
Low toy.
Low toy. Hey, I like them low toys too.
Low toy.
We don't talk about the little laws. Stop it, Grim. I'll bite
Hey,
your
have
kneecap.
y'all ever?
I'll bite your kneecap. I've got his
He's
ankles.
taller than you. You're an ankle biter. Shut up.
Yeah, I go for the ankles.
Miss Rummy, don't encourage Grim, for fuck's sake. He's as funny as a hybrid of Alan Partridge and Mr. Bean is Grim. Thank you for the compliment. Came at last.
Any day.
Oh my gosh. There's this one auditor that I used to watch a lot of times, and people would ask him what his name was, and he'd say Dick Fitzwell.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. I like that one.
But that's only allegedly.
Yeah, he'd say Dick Fitzwell. I was like, oh my god, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
AJM, stop insulting Alan Carr. I'm trying to be politically correct, and it's not always possible with the little twats that turn up here.
The little twat. I love
Wait
y'all.
a minute.
I love
What's this
your
politically
style.
correct stuff?
Shut up, Yank.
I thought we went beyond politically correct into crazy.
Oh, we did that a long,
We've
long
always
time
been
ago.
there.
Yeah, we've always been there. That's why, I pick up all these waifs and strays. They all end up here. These are all lost souls. They all always come here. You say, how do we escape? We say, you don't.
I used to be Santa Claus's best toy maker. Look at me now.
You graduated. To play in the clover.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Ooh.
I remember seeing you, watching you when you were famous with Dudley Moore.
I thought
And that Christmas special.
I thought Will Ferrell was Santa's favorite elf.
Yeah, he's a tall bastard, wasn't he?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he
Oh
was
my
big as
gosh,
hell.
yeah. Oh Lord.
But I was the best toy maker.
Yeah. Wake up.
I'm not going to ask which kind of toys you made.
Hey,
Hey,
that's why
not
I said.
battery. Hang on.
Oh, it was a good time.
Batteries weren't included in his day.
Well,
Sorry, ladies, it was manual power only.
no. That's why you plug them shits into the wall now.
Was that a tongue-in-cheek joke?
I've told you before, don't talk with your mouth full. Oh, you've been there.
They don't
I
call me Big
recognise
Mouth
that
for
voice now.
nothing. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Stop it. Don't think. You'll have to lie down for a week, and you can't do that. You're moving soon.
I'm lying down now.
When are you actually moving?
Friday, Saturday.
And
It's getting
what
close.
year do you think you'll be sorted after
Uh,
you've unpacked?
to be announced.
Yeah, it's stressful as hell moving. I hate having to move.
The stressful part for me right now is, like I said, I've had a household since I was 18 years old, and I'm 57. So I got to pick and choose what I'm going to take, and,
Yeah.
I know my daughter wants a particular pot that I probably will not be using anymore because fuck, I'm not going to be cooking for a big family anymore. I'm going to be cooking for myself. And so, that's stuff that I'm going through, and picking through. And one of the reasons why I didn't cook outside, one, the wood was wet, and then two, I was gonna have to dig through boxes to be able to get some stuff out to be able to go out on the grill.
Yeah.
I packed my grill brush, trying to do those things, and I just put it in frying pan. So, because that was handy, and I mixed up everything in a fucking pot because that was handy too.
What about the feeling of being unsettled? Do you look forward to that feeling of being settled again, the comfort of being settled?
I haven't even thought about that.
All right, sorry.
I just want it.
Don't
I just
think
want
about
it
it.
over
Don't-
with. I just want it over
Now,
with.
That's what
now
I mean,
you
right?
added another stress in there.
No, it's not stressful. No, that's not stressful at all. Because I give two fucks about that.
That's good.
The one thing that did bother me the other day was when one of the boys showed up, out of the blue, and he had a big problem with facing the fact that, Mama's not got her own house. One, that security blanket is gone for him. If anything happened, they all know that they can always rely on me, right? So now I'm going to be moving into somebody else's house, and I'm going to be not responsible. I'm not going to be responsible for anything. That's going to be their responsibility, right? So that security blanket's gone for them, number one. And then number two, they're coming to the realization that Mama's not 30 anymore. Mama's not 40 anymore. Mama's not 50 anymore. And Mama's got a lot more years behind her than she's got in front of her. So that was a big thing.
What do they
And
say? 50 is the new start of life.
well, I mean, okay, you can look at it
Oh.
any way you want to, but I got more years behind me than I got in front of me.
Part of the shock for him could have been that now you're supposed to be going to him now saying do this, do that, instead of him coming to you to ask for help. That's a shock for some of these young people when they realize, hey, I'm at the age where you're supposed to be helping me, you dumb shit. I tell my daughter that at least every other month. Why are you asking me for something? I'm supposed to be asking you. I'm over 50.
Yeah, I think the realization of what does this message say?
Yeah, I thought that
we need to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah, I thought that. How did that get out? I thought that was between just me and you, Miss Rummy.
I didn't do it. You must be talking in your sleep, buddy.
I didn't tell anybody. I thought that was between us.
Big G gets to know everything.
Too.
He's been sniffing the mail.
He got a back door.
Damn, was that funny feeling I had when I thought you was asleep?
Allegedly. It couldn't have been more than a small prick.
Yeah, well, I knew it was a funny feeling from somewhere, but I thought Food Toy was asleep. So, oops. He snuck in the back door. Wow.
It was a small prick.
Yeah.
He didn't even notice.
It was a little poke, and he missed and got my nose hole. Yeah.
Hey,
I was like waking up, my nose was all wet and shit, and I was like, damn, what the fuck happened?
Don't put that other comment on screen. Go too far, Big G. Hey.
But anyway, back to the boys.
Okay, I'm not going to do that.
So back to the boys. Yeah, he was just really upset that he's coming to the realization that, mama might not be around for a long time more,
But it's all changing, it's all everything.
And and there's the evolution, the circle, and they're having to be the grown-ups now, and I get to do a little bit of what I want to do. And that's the way I explained it to him, because I said, hell, what am I supposed to do? Spend the rest of my life, whatever that may be, however long. And he's going, no, covering up his ears and acting like a little kid. And I was like, what the fuck is this? You're a grown ass man. Stop.
He loves
We need to have
you.
this conversation.
He
What the
loves you.
fuck?
Yeah, I was there.
Well,
when he
it
came on.
sounds like it's being a shock for him, but he'll get over it.
Yeah, it was a big shock. And my son actually said, you know, this was one of my foster boys, but my son actually said that he was shocked that I was so accepting of making the change and making the move. And he was like, Mom, I really thought you would put up some kind of fuss. And I was like, what am I going to fuss about? Not having the fucking responsibility of everything and making sure that everybody's got a safe place and taking all the responsibility of keeping a fucking household afloat and not being able to fucking do anything myself. Well,
Yeah.
that's a fucking no-brainer. Come on, you are a grown-ass man. You're almost 40 fucking years old. I'm ready to hand the reins over.
Takes the weight off.
Plus you need a rest from doing all that for so long.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not especially moving fast.
Love. I think it shows love. I think
It does, and I was really touched by it, and we both cried together. And
you know, Miss Rama, when I
it's
when I
okay
moved,
for a male to be emotional as well sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I mean he was really upset.
Yeah.
Did you remind him?
Hang on.
Okay, Ariel, go ahead.
When I moved to Virginia from Connecticut, it broke my heart. But
Why?
Because I was leaving everyone.
Right.
But it made them adults. They had to grow up. They had to be responsible for themselves. And they're doing great right now.
Oh, you left your kids behind, was it, Ariel?
Yeah.
You're echoing.
I'm sorry.
No, Flutoyers. Broken Fishing, what do you want to say?
Just remind your kids that you still got a phone. That's all you got to do. You can still call and talk to me.
I'm moving in with my son.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, not really, though, Miss Robbie. Not really. You're not moving in.
Okay, here's the situation right now.
He's upstairs, you're down.
I'm here, and my son and my granddaughter have been living with me, right? And then Travis has stayed here at times too, and so have a whole bunch of others because they needed a safe place and they needed a steady place or whatever, you know. But now I don't have the right to say, oh yeah, come on over. You can sleep here on the couch, because my son and my granddaughter are actually moving in with his girlfriend. And then they invited me to move along because the house is 2-story. The ground floor is considered the basement. I'm moving into the ground floor. I have a room of my own. I have a living space, a bathroom with a shower, toilet, tub, sink, all that stuff. You know, so it's like a downstairs apartment with no kitchen. So I'm moving in with them.
I don't see that. I don't see it that way. They're upstairs. If you're moving in with
they're
them
upstairs as a family. They're upstairs as a family unit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like the mother-in-law's suite. I'm just coming along.
The granny flat.
Yeah, and I don't have any of the responsibility of the house. Like my son discovered that the hot water heater was broken and it was leaking and needed to be fixed. So him and Sarah went and took care of that. Didn't even include me with it, right? Because it's not my fucking responsibility. It's their responsibility. It's their fucking house.
Right, but if you wanted one of your other sons to come sleep on the couch, I don't see that as an issue.
No, that wouldn't be an issue, but I would run it by them. You know, because that's not my house.
Right. If it's self-contained, as in it's got your own front door, then it's a different kettle of fish because that is yours.
Well,
however, from a moral point of view, because you're living under their roof, they own the building, not you.
Right.
In a way, they are your unofficial landlords. Therefore, any it's a matter of decency.
Yeah,
So if you
Yeah.
want to have a loud party during the night and start screaming and shouting and everything else just on YouTube, right? You need to
right.
be a little bit quieter, just so you
Yeah,
don't
I'll be in my own
upset
space,
them.
but of course I will. Of course I will have to respect the house, you
Mhm.
know, and not be having whatever downstairs and disrupting upstairs. And the same thing for them. I don't expect them to have fucking 50 people upstairs stomping around while I'm trying to, do my thing downstairs. So,
Yeah.
it's a mutual respect thing, but also, if one of the kids was to say, "Hey, I need a break. I've got to get away from this situation just to cool things off or what the fuck ever, and can I sleep on your couch?" I would of course go upstairs and say, "Hey, look, this is the situation. I told them I would make sure it was okay with y'all, but they want to come and stay with me for a day or 3 days max,
Mm.
whatever." And then I would respect whatever they said. So, you know, that's something that I haven't really talked to them about yet, but that's a bridge that we'll have to cross once we get there. I'm not even calling that. I'm not putting that out in the ether because I want to be me downstairs. I want to be grandma. I want to be
Yeah.
Rummy downstairs.
Yeah, you haven't clarified the rules about company. Got it.
Well, I'm if I want to have somebody over, like somebody,
I
okay,
get it.
I can do that. I don't have to ask permission upstairs. But I mean, if I want to invite somebody to come, like one of the kids would say, "I need to come and stay," then I would respect the house because I want to.
You want to
I
make
just,
sure that it's
I
okay.
just, yeah, I just want to be respectful. But if I want to have company and send them on their way, then that ain't none of their fucking business upstairs. It's
Miss
my
Rumi,
fucking business.
Miss Rumi, I'm probably going to put my foot in it here, but
Just for a
it's kind of
change.
awkward what I'm about to say, but maybe it's a good thing to say as I feel it.
Go
But
ahead.
I don't want to stress you out or anything though.
Oh no.
But it's kind of wise to keep it in mind. Like, what happens to you if they break up? God forbid, but just say it happens. What's your
Well,
living?
All right.
Rummy's a good smart lady, and
Right.
Rummy's gonna
Got
have a
you.
backup plan.
I don't doubt it. I don't, and I'm happy that you said that.
Hey, GM, you can turn your camera off now.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying what if only.
Right. I got you. And one of my really good friends, he's already told me at any time. I went to high school with him. He takes me to most of my doctor's appointments. I mean, we're really good friends. We talk every fucking day. And he's already told me that, his guest room is always open to me. So
Right.
I'm downsizing now. So it wouldn't be anything for me to fucking, load my shit up and go over there until I could do my own damn thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But how would you feel about asking for something in writing just for security?
Well, I mean, I really don't
Would
want to.
that make-
I don't. I just really don't want to cross that
Right.
border
Okay.
right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, because it's all fresh and new to all of us. This will be the first time of doing anything, and I really don't see them. Um, she stuck by him through all of the shit that we've gone through since Gemma's mom died, and if he has his ex-wife's name, well, his dead wife's name tattooed on his chest. And if she can handle that as she's laying next to him in the bed, then I don't see them going anywhere but staying together.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could see those two together, I mean, it's like, it made me cry, really. And I know I'm a crier, I know that. But it made me feel so good to see the man that I raised treat his woman with respect
Hey, AJ,
and love.
yeah, I didn't mean anything by it. I hope you know. I hope you know. That's
Oh
just how my brain
yeah,
works.
I totally understand. And we will sit down at the table and we will go over some ground rules. But I just need to get there first.
Yeah, get
I,
there.
I I get you about the wife who passed on, and she's willing to have no problem with that. I
Right.
get that fully. I had somebody that couldn't handle that. My wife who passed is still a big part of our life, you know, even
Right.
though she's not
Right.
here. I'm never
Yeah.
going to talk bad at her. I'm not going to hide her pictures that I have around. Just deal with
Right.
it or don't. There's no competition.
Right. And that's what my son and I had to talk about earlier. Um, when the whole move and everything started coming around, and Gemma keeps her mother's picture everywhere she's at. She's got it
And
all in the
she
room.
should be. She should.
Yes. And we talk about Morgan all the time. We share those memories and keep those memories alive. And you know, and Miss Sarah doesn't have a problem with that. I mean, Gemma has known literally Miss Sarah since she was in daycare.
Oh, cool.
'Cause she used to take care of Gemma at the daycare in the afternoons. That's how I met her first.
So is this the first time they've lived together in the same house?
Yes. Because he was married, right? And
Yeah.
he was faithful to his wife. And then they separated. He moved here with Gemma. They went through a whole big shit. We all did. I got arrested, the whole 9 yards. And then they settled on a schedule of 1 week there, 1 week here of Gemma going back and forth. And the situation was Gemma was over there. Gemma watched her mother die.
Oh, that sucks. A kid should never have to watch that.
She was 6 years old. So, it was really hard. It was so fucking hard for all of us. And Miss Sarah was just his friend then. So they were friends first. And she stuck by this man through all of that. All of the bullshit that we had to go through. All of the crazy moments and all of the everything. And it was a lot for him because the way everything went down. He loved that woman. He loved her. If she had said, "Come back home," he would have packed every fucking thing up and went back over there, right? Because he loved her so much, and he wanted his family to be solid. But she didn't want that. She didn't. She didn't want to be a wife. She didn't want to be a mother. But she used Gemma as a tool.
There's a lot of men and women that do the same thing.
Right. So, but anyway, we got past that, and him and Miss Sarah, there was a few others that he dated or whatever for a little while, but she stuck it out with him. And their relationship, I've watched it develop tenfold, over the years.
It sounds like he may have finally found his soulmate.
Right. Now, and he told me recently, he said, Mom, she's not like the person that I would actually try to date. She's totally opposite from everything that I would actually look for, as in physical, the whole 9 yards. And I said, well, but you love her. And he said, yes, I love her through and through. And he said one of the biggest things for him was the loyalty that she has with him and he has with her. And I watched them interact with each other as we're in her kitchen because it was the first time I'd been over there, the first time I'd been inside to see where my space was going to be. And we had dinner together, and to watch him, because there's certain things that she won't eat and certain things that she does like, right? So he was making sure that if he did anything for the, you know, the whole meal, he sat there and cut her stuff differently for her because he knows the way she likes it. And he did little extra things for her because he wanted her to have it the way she would eat it. I mean, just seeing that interaction between that man and that the love that he has for her is fucking amazing. I said, oh my God.
Sounds like they got a really good relationship.
Yes.
The best quote I heard out of my son, and I actually heard it at the end of last year, this year, he was telling one of his friends talking about his mom. He's like, dude, my mom and dad were so well together that I've watched them dance around the kitchen, not say a word at all to each other, but dance around the kitchen, and I got food out of it.
Right. Right. I watched those two do their thing in the kitchen, and I sat there. I didn't have to do anything, which was a fucking relief for a change. And I sat there and I watched them as if I was Gemma. And I watched them interact and be playful and be, you know, little remarks and little body movements and emotions through those body movements. And I was like, fuck, damn, I actually did something right, you know, raising this man to
That
be a good husband and be a good father. Because I see him with his daughter, and he's phenomenal, and he's a great girl dad. But now that the three of them are together, one, it's something that Gemma needs. She needs a woman that's more daddy's age instead of
Yep.
Rummy's age, to interact with her and do the things that's gonna, you know, encourage her to be girly and encourage her to trust another female and have that mother-daughter relationship that she so desperately needs.
well, I'm happy for the kid most of all, but I'm happy for him too. It sounds like he's found somebody that's good for him.
Yeah, they've been together for fucking 3 years now, I would say. Maybe 3, 4. Because he was talking to her. Well, they were friends before Morgan died. And then she helped him through all of that and stuck by him. So I would say, you know, a good solid 3.5, 4 years. Because that's how long it's been now. Because Gemma was 6 and now she's 10.
I
So
know when I lost my wife, the biggest help to me was her cousin that she always told me, I hate you. I just wish you weren't with her. And my biggest defender is my
it's
cousin.
her.
It's her. She's like, oh, don't you guys, you obviously didn't know them two. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up. I'm like, the first time she did it, I was like, am I seeing shit?
Right. Am I in a different dimension? Yeah.
I actually asked another friend, and
Can I just interrupt this just for a second? I've not had a chance to say hello to AJM.
Hello,
He's been sat there,
Hey, JM.
muted, very
Hey,
quietly. He's probably fallen asleep by now.
Wakey, wakey.
No, I haven't. Stop it, will you? Hello, guys.
hey,
Stop
Citizen
it, please.
D, what's up, bro?
I'm just sitting here patiently and just being quiet and I'm just having a chat with the chat. So you guys are
Oh,
talking, so I'm just having a little chill with the chat.
sorry to occupy the panel. I'm sorry.
No, no, Miss Rummy, no.
No, don't
Don't worry
apologise.
about it. Just crack on, girl. You know, you got
Okay.
things to talk about. Talk about it. Get it
I
up.
mean, it's a great conversation when
Well,
you're grown kids.
that's how we.
try to-
Well, basically, that's how we learn in good conversations with each other. You know,
Yes,
normal
yes, sir.
conversations without losing people, losing their minds, and people losing their shit,
know,
and just
gonna
coming
have-
out
Right.
with, you know.
Also,
I mean, when you go on these panels and you get people who are, it's not people who smoke weed. It's always the people who drink alcohol. And when you get in panels with these people, where people who smoke weed, they're more chilled, who don't really touch alcohol. And then you get people that who come in who are pissed as farts. And then that's where the commotion starts, in my opinion, from what I've gathered and seen the last maybe year or two.
yeah, agreed.
So, you know, it is what it is, you know.
Miss
I'll-
Rummy,
There's some chat.
AGM,
Oh, sorry.
don't take this the wrong way. If you continue, I'm going to have to try and understand you, which means I'll put subtitles up.
Oh,
Miss
Well,
Rummy, this is
If
what
you're
it
going to do that, if you're going to do that, do you know when you go to sleep tonight, I'm going to put bricks under your car and I'm going to rob your wheels. All right.
Hey, Anne Marie's already done that. She's still got me bloody up.
Hey, she's a good scouser.
Well,
She's
Miss
one of
Rummy,
mine. Anne-Marie's one of mine.
This is how
thank
the
you for
Beatles talk.
talking about
Miss
that,
Rummy.
because that gives people like me a little bit of hope that maybe I'll find somebody again. My wife dying was a nuclear bomb going off in my life.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nuclear bomb for us too.
Do you know
It really
what?
was. It was a hard pill to swallow.
Broken Fish, what you said, losing any close family member.
AGM, have you got YouTube open?
Say what?
Your
I
mic
haven't
is
got YouTube open, no. No, what you said, Broken Fish, was I can understand that any loss of any close family member is what you just said.
Yeah.
It-
Nuclear
you know,
bomb. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, or even your children. Do you know what I mean? When that happens, you know, it doesn't come to us all the time. It comes in certain waves. In every family, we have to go through that feeling of losing a real loved one, a mother, a father, you know, a sister, a brother, or even a child. That's what life is. You know, it's amazing. It is amazing, but it's like creation is amazing, but life is amazing. But we have to go through these trials and tribulations, and we have to deal with it. You know, and we've all, in saying that, we've all got to communicate with each other, and you know, just stop going crazy and going, you know, stop getting drunk, stop, you know, losing your mind. Get with reality. What's going on? It's not about us. It's about them in power. So we've got to keep our eyes on the ball, keep sober. Okay, you can smoke weed, you can still get sober because you think a little bit better. And then you can start realising what's going on around us with the governments, the police, the politicians, and all the programming psyops, what they do in the universities with the protesting. You know, I could go on forever, you know.
That's the reason why I do these things.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, this always comes to a point of the show when I turn around and say, you're on your last 15 minutes.
Aww.
And
Short
that is because it's a Monday night, it's a school night, and I have work tomorrow. However, if Mellows is still not, if Mellows is still awake, he's been muted for a long time, so I don't know. I'm sure he'll start a live up. If not, I'll start one up and he can take over on Mellows, because that'll be part 2.
You're right.
And I hope that you might even get round to finishing off this quiz that didn't really happen. But do you know what? It was great to have you all here.
I won, by the way.
Oh, right. Okay.
I got the scores, right?
You get all of the yen that Flutoid, the invisible yen that
Yes.
Flutoid offered.
$5.87. Congratulations, 1,000 yen.
Woo! Every penny counts.
He
Well,
spent
thanks
the
for
rest of
putting
it on PayPal. Mellows, are you there? Are you
Yeah,
awake?
I bribed the judge and I still lost.
PayPal Paddy.
Exactly.
PayPal Paddy.
Oh,
But the
PayPal
other way
Patty. Oh
around.
my God. Oh yeah.
Well, thanks for
PayPal
putting up with
Paddy.
us, Graham.
Yeah, thanks for having us up, Graham. Good
No
job, mate.
problem. I appreciated
Good
it.
I've loved this. I've loved this.
I'll
It's
try
been
and
a
do
little.
another one next week. I'll try and do
Please
another
do.
one next week.
Please do.
PayPal
It's very
Paddy at
therapeutic, guys.
freetoy.com.
Next
Hey,
week on the Grim Reaper Show, we'll be talking about other souls that have gone before us and those who will be between now and then.
Except it's the other way around, AJM. I'm not
Long may certain panels rest in peace.
The other way, I don't like these other way around, Fruitoy, bro.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Hey.
I keep it straight and narrow. These like twisting. No, I'm not into that shit.
Just remember, AGM, the show starts at 7 o'clock
Got it, mate.
UK time, not 7 o'clock Liverpudlian time, which could be whenever you feel like it.
I was going with Beijing time.
There you go.
I can take the wheels off your car whenever I feel. You know what I mean? Goes both ways.
You've got to
bro.
catch me parking first. I'm moving even further away from you lot.
Can I
Just
put my
protect
cash up in your stream?
No.
Oh, please
Oh,
do,
here we
AJM.
go.
Please do.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
only
boys
if
and
I
girls.
wish I had the cash up, man.
It's not often I have to do this.
Fill your boots, bro. Enjoy. Communicate.
Enjoy. Salute everyone. Thanks very much.
Communicate, that's it. That's what it's all about.
Alrighty.
Communicate
Take-
with everyone.
Take care. I'm ending it now before I continue.
All right.
See you guys. Take care. Bye.
Yeah.
Later, boys. Take care.